sands beget a mortal. Fascinating.
Greetings. You are strange. There's something distinctly fey about you.
We realize our presence in Detir is rapidly diminishing. If we can re-establish the tradition lost with the House of Valor, perhaps we can still stabilize our presence in this region. They are our brethren, afflicted by the same curse as the Almain Allard. Left untreated, the curse alters the mind and role of the afflicted. We term these brethren Narka, and you'll find them wandering the desert of Ulcerland, attacking any that come near. They cannot tell friend from foe. It'll take some time before it's safe to walk the sands without a resolution to this dilemma. I direct the Circle of Engard in its duties. My allies and I serve the champion of valor, not the mortal pretender, but the Fey known as Engard. Unfortunately, the champion is no more. Not since his defeat in the arena by mortal hands. Some of our brethren departed, like our champion, Engard. Some went mad and became Narka. Those of us who are left remain for the sake of this land. If it were free of the Narka curse, we would gladly follow after our champion. We have confidence that he'll appear in Amalur once again. Every Fey is compelled to perform a function, and reigning as champion was Engard's role. When the champion returns, the Circle of Engard will take up arms once again, and our rites of combat will shake the earth. The Fey have thrived here for many cycles. Though the way the seasons have been flowing, we may not thrive for much longer. The Fey champion of Valor, Engard, was defeated in battle years ago at the House of Valor by a Varani warrior. In accordance with Fey tradition, control of the house passed to that mortal, and the Fey were forced to leave. Releasing him would be detrimental to Fey and mortal alike. I sense something peculiar about you, though. Perhaps you could help him. He could be healed, we surmise, with the completion of the Rite of Valor. Have you noticed my enraged summer brethren out in the sands? They attack anyone, friend or foe. We of the Circle term it the Narka Affliction. It's a curse magical in nature. The affected cannot be reasoned or bargained with. The Almain fell victim to the curse, and though it has not altered his mind, he complains of pain. He warrants study, and so we keep him. The key is the Cora Petal. The regenerative properties of the petal can cure the Almain. You'll find it on the vessel of the Guardian of the Caverns, the Cora Thresh. The Rite of Valor will awaken the Guardian, which has lain dormant in this long winter. Defeat it, and the petal can be plucked from its vessel. Head to the Caverns of Ingress at the base of the Great Spine. There are 3 Erathi sigil stones within. They are marked by a waterfall, a pillar, and a tree. Activate them in that order. Each stone will curse you. Once the last stone is activated, a beast of many vines will challenge you in your weakened state. Defeat it, and bring the Cora Petal to us. You must activate 3 sigil stones within the Caverns of Ingress. They're marked by a waterfall, a pillar, and a tree. Each stone will lay a curse upon your vessel when activated, and summon opponents to face in your weakened state. At the rite's end, a beast of many vines will appear to challenge you. Defeating it will permanently remove the curses. Their effects are temporary. The curses will vacate your body if you begin the rite, and then leave the Caverns of Ingress. You must retrieve the Cora Petal from the Caverns of Ingress. Complete the Rite of Valor, and you will awaken a beast of many vines. Find it, defeat it, and pluck the Cora Petal from its vessel. We have waited long for the champion to return.
We are the Circle of Engard.
Wait still.
Welcome, mortal. I can heal your vessel if you require it. It is my role. Mindless. They're summer fae. They cannot distinguish fae from foe. They attack all who approach. We know not the cause. I repair the vessels of the Circle when necessary. It is my role. This land is in pain. It is afflicted as the Naka are afflicted. Farewell.
Mortals are too fragile for these lands.
There is an odd aura flowing.
Greetings.
You're back. I trust you're making progress.
Exercise caution in Ulster.
What brings you to the sands?
Strange. The threads of fate do not entwine your destiny. They are our brethren, but they cannot distinguish fae from foe. They attack all who approach, and we know not the cause of their malady. I read the fates for the Circle. That is my role. We await the return of our champion. The mortal Magnus defeated him, and he has not returned. Mortal.
Greetings again, mortal.
Well done. I can use the petal to create an elixir for the Almain. He needs only to drink this. If it indeed frees him from the curse, he may leave. And I will finally have hope of saving Ulcerund from the Narca. Administer the potion to the Almain. Hopefully, it'll free him of the curse, and we can begin to heal Ulcerund of the Narca affliction.
Farewell, mortal. Greetings again, mortal.
You've returned. Will the Fae allow me to leave? My wife and I were just passing through Ulcerund. We lost our way trying to get to the Red Marches when I grew ill. The next thing I know, I have a burning fever, and when I stopped to catch my breath, the Fae ambushed us. You saw my wife. Thank goodness she's all right. I bet she'd wait out there for a decade if she had to. I hope I won't be stuck here for that long. They keep talking about how I can't leave until I'm free of the Narca affliction. This place is as foreign to me as my Fae captors. There's nothing here except the lethal wildlife and a scorching sun above. And all the Fae we could ever hope to meet. Blasted, I'd leave right now if I could. They'll let me go if this works. Fine. I'll drink anything at this point. I can feel the curse leaving me. I'm not just saying that so I can leave. It's like a fever's breaking. I should get back to my wife. Thank you again, and farewell.
That was impressive. Our success with the Almain bears great portent for Ulcerund. If a mortal can be cured, then maybe a Fae can as well. I believe that you could survive a journey through the Felfire Pit. Will you help us with another task?
My brethren and I make up the Circle of Engard. We seek to restore the Fey rights lost when the mortals took the House of Valor. The Circle is holding vigil, waiting for the champion to return. Ulcerund is among the last Fey lands untouched by mortal civilization, but it is not without its difficulties. Some of our brethren have fallen to a curse that renders them feral and frenzied.
We wish to repeat our success with the Almain at a much grander scale. To do this, we require the essence of another plant, this time from the Felfire Pit. The pit is located at the base of the great spine of Ulcerund. The flower, the Felfire bloom, rests there. The only plant that grows in the pit. We know the mortal fondness for compensation, and will reward you significantly. Excellent! Then head to the Felfire Pit, where the Guardian of the Bloom awaits.
Farewell, mortal.
If you require healing, I will aid.
Mortal. Flame!
Greetings. Excellent. You have my thanks, child. Now we can use the power of the Fellfire Bloom to begin the removal of this curse from our lands. We will, however, require your services once more to accomplish this. Will you aid us again? Seek an audience with the keepers of the crossing, and then administer the sample of Fellfire Bloom to the heart of this land. With luck, you will free this entire region from the Naka affliction. The restorative properties of the Fellfire Bloom will remove the Naka's affliction from the font of the crossing. The Summer Fae who live here are tied to the land, and the land in turn is tied to the crossing. You must invoke the Keeper's Right in order to reach the crossing. The first step is to challenge Pura at the Crown of the Sun to battle. You need proof that you have bested her to pass through Caer Alatha. Very well. Defeat Pura, and she will give you the Amulet of the Sun. Take the amulet to the Keepers at Caer Alatha, and they will allow you to pass. At the bottom of Caer Alatha, you'll find the font of the crossing. Place the sample of Fellfire Bloom atop it. Go to the Crown of the Sun, where Pura trains replacement keepers, and challenge her to battle. Only if you defeat her will she grant you the Amulet of the Sun, which you will require to enter the crossing. Then, delve into the depths of Caer-Alatha and find the crossing. Place the sample of Fellfire Bloom atop the altar at its center. If our theory is correct, your help in this matter will finally free Ulcerund of the Knocker affliction.
A child of dust? What brings you to the Crown of the Sun? The desert is unkind to mortals. They spend hundreds of years here in preparation of their duties. I am tasked with meeting their needs, ensuring they are ready. It will be several hundred years before the replacements for the current keepers arrive. Florian told you of it. They must trust you implicitly. It is one of many sources of our worldly power. It is an almost limitless source of magical energy, closely tied to the essence of Ulcerund. I am the guardian of the Crown of the Sun. It is my role to watch this sacred place and see to the safety of the keepers in training. They are Summer Fae, but their minds have been altered. They attack any who travel the sands, be they mortal or Fae. I do not wish to speak to you about Fae affairs, mortal. This place is older than your mind can grasp, and it will remain long after you are gone. Ulcerund is the last bastion of the Fae in Detir, One of the few places in these desert lands where we are plentiful. Florian and the Circle sent you to access the crossing? It is highly unusual for a mortal to invoke a Fey rite, but your aura is most unlike a mortal's. Very well. Prepare yourself. You will find the crossing in the deepest depths of Karalatha. The Amulet of the Sun allows you to access the tunnels that will take you there.
Sun's something, isn't it?
I'm warning you. There are terrible Fae along the path to the mine. Horrible Fae! I've heard tales of terrifyingly scarred men appearing at the entrance of the caverns from time to time. I don't care why they're there. I just don't want them anywhere near me. Edessa could not have been built without the Motus mining interest. Scholar of Mineralogy, Motus Mining, and unwitting adventurer. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, I'm sure. It's a place of mystery and intrigue. No one knows what lurks at the top, though everyone's got a guess. Horrible Fae! I got 10 paces up the slope when they accosted me, just like the miners said. What's a scholar to do against hordes of vicious beasts? One of those boggarts, oh, it shook its fist at me. Yes, and find out what's wrong. Now that I've found it, and have no desire to investigate further. There were boggarts, lots of boggarts. And I think I saw a thresh. I was rather too busy running to note the particulars. Well, if you were willing to go first, I would have no objection to trailing behind, at a safe distance. To the Canyon Hill site at the top of the ledge, where a cadre of Fae awaits to rip us to shreds, no doubt. Lead the way. Up the slope we go. There they are. Dispatch them before they attack me. yet to discover a reason for their presence. Let's keep going.
Another, come to steal the light, come to trouble the reverie. Long, long ago, I wandered lost in the dark of night. I cried a pool into a rocky basin, and starlight gathered there. I fashioned this into a jewel, and by its light found my way home. Is it any wonder that I hold it so dear? When I became aware the light was gone, the shell of the reverie cracked, and my dream self wandered free. He and I are two where there once were many. We lived then wild on dune and crag. Now he watches the waking day, and I tend to the dreaming murmurs of the stone. I long to return to the reverie. While Calavar walks the sands, I must sleep. They are my friends, drawn here as I drift between the dream world and the world of the waking. The light, source of solace, snuck in, sharp knives, soft feet, stole the jewel from my side, took it northward through the narrow rocks to their village of wood and cloth.
It's beginning to make sense. This Fey maiden is real, but I believe we're speaking to a projection of her as she dreams. There is a Fey hollow under this mine, where I'll wager she sleeps. And these other Fey, they're drawn to the power of this projection. Restoring to her this light she speaks of might calm things down. Find me at the Motus mining office when you return it to her. I'll make sure you're duly compensated. No, I feel quite certain. The maiden we see here is a projection of her dream self, as she calls it. The real Fae's asleep, somewhere in the hollow below us, I'll wager. And these other wild Fae are drawn to the power she exudes while in this form. Most likely return what was stolen to the Fae made within the hollow. That is how these things tend to go.
The light returned to me. Did you do this? The blessings of the thorn and shadow be upon your head, little mortal. Now leave me to the reverie, and the deep shadow and the far wind's sighs. This is home, the place of power. I can feel the mortal's presence above, taking, chipping away at the land. Calavar will not be pleased. I long to return to the reverie. While Calavar walks the sands, I must sleep. Now I have the light, the reverie will be untroubled. Now leave me be, little one. Leave me be. Ah.
I watch them day by day, their foolish, meddling scampering to separate one piece of earth from a slightly different piece of earth. Fae know that the land will endure, will heal any wounds mortals can inflict. But I worry that these wounds may be long to heal. I cannot act. I am bound by our beliefs. But an agent of change could cauterize these wounds by making the century plants bloom. The little mortals, you mean? Forever cutting, clearing, digging, will they never stop? Won't they tire of it and go away? In ages past, we danced in circles on the dunes and sang sweet songs to the distant peaks. Now I alone walk here, while Orenda dreams in reverie below. Normally they blossom only every 100 years. The land stirs and wakens, and what was worn away rejuvenates. That is the way of things. I shepherd the surface, while Orenda sleeps beneath. I await the day when I may lay down to rest, as Orenda does, beneath the sands. The mortal's growing influence in this world wearies me. Have you met her? Fair and dark as the night itself. She will sleep until my time is past. Then I will lie down and dream while she walks the sands. Oh, I cannot make them bloom, not now. When the time is right, one fey whisper will do. You mortals are not bound as we are. You can grow such things out of season. You wouldn't know with these little mortals here, but these lands are a fey place, and fey places need refreshing from time to time. The blooming of the century plants is the fastest road of recovery. The century plants have deep ties to the pulse and marrow of the land. Their breath wakens the desert, causes the rocks to stir and grow. A friend of the sands, you'll do what needs doing. You will need petrichor. Here's a skinful I have gathered. But first, you must ready the plant with fire. Only after fire will they drink the petrichor. There are 3 century plants in this land just now. Make all 3 bloom, and all will be well. For each of the 3 upon the sands, scorch it with fire, then slake it with the petrichor I gave you. The smell of the earth after rain. I have gathered it over years in that skin. For now, then.
In ancient times, the desert had no shade. The sun burned the land to ruin. The rivers disappeared, and the animals hid underground. The people cried to Helios for mercy, but he didn't answer their prayers. As the plants withered in the heat, the hollow lands echoed with the crackle of fires.
A fey relic? Was that it? She called it a light. I wonder what possessed those fools to steal it. No matter. Facts are, without you, I'd still be tugging my beard at the bottom of that slope. So please have this. The interest rewards those who smooth its way. All this caused by a stolen jewel. Remarkable. As I've always said, there's no understanding Fey. All the same, we ought to have known we were digging right above a Fey hollow. Didn't seem important at the time, I suppose. So long. sure.
You look well armed. Aren't you hear about the Croddock? We have a vicious one on our hands. It's about the desert, killing any workers it can catch. How in blazes it developed a taste for gnome flesh, only that damn thing knows. Confound it! Between the Canyon Hill incident and that beast, our schedule's ground to a halt. I've heard bizarre tales about those caves. The workers swear they've seen ghastly men, ravaged by some plague or foul magic, pacing round the entrances. We don't have separate rooms, but we've got beds upstairs. It'll cost you, though. We're the closest thing to an inn for leagues around us. I've heard the rumors. They might be saints or bastards, but they've coin to spare, and that's enough for me. Know it as well as my own calloused hand. That's why they pay me good gold to sit here. You won't find much on the surface here, but trapped below is the salvation of Odessa's future. We've the raw materials under our feet to equip entire armies, and that's why you'll find Motus Mining and, such as it is, Aaron Excavations digging here. Canyon Hill is up the eastern ledge. That's the one that spooked the miners. The Dune Head operation's hardly begun, thanks to a vicious Croddock. No one knows what's at the top of Cloud Crest, but that don't stop folks speculating. I've heard the first Fae set foot in Amalur came from there. That'd explain why there are so many of them in Detir. Once word got out that Edgar Aaron had found this mineral-rich site, Motus rushed to get an operation set up here. I'm all the muscle they bothered to send. I'm the lone guard Motus hired to protect this place. They've given me a Chief of Security title, but that means nothing when I've got no men to command. Now we've got a Croddock that's more than a match for a small army. I know better than to go out there alone. We don't know where it got a taste for the gnome miners, but it's been terrorizing the Dunehead mine. Motus is offering a considerable bounty for its demise. They were the first mining operation here in the Hollowlands. Foreman by the name of Edgar Aaron. Rumor has it he spent every coin he had building his mine. When Motus moved in, they waved bags of gold in the faces of Aaron's workers. The next day, they all jumped ship. It's tragic, but it's business. You got the picture. Don't know how the damned old thing got a taste for him, but once it gets an idea, there's no stopping it. We've put a price on its hide, but who'd be crazy enough to earn it? Well, you sure? All right, it's your funeral. You should speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron Excavations. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. Edgar's lived in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. Speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron's Excavations. He's been in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. I'll warn you, though, Edgar's bitter about Motus luring away his workers away with higher wages. He probably finds the situation ironic now that Bloodbane is attacking Dunehead Mine. You look like you can take care of... Never lower your guard in the Hollowlands. The desert's vicious. He's the foreman of the other mine here. He knows a thing or two about the Hollowlands. Been surveying this place long before Motus moved in. He ran Aaron Excavations until Motus hired his workers out from under him. It's tough, but that's business. I'm not sure what he's up to these days, but he hasn't left. Aaron Excavations? They're the other mining operation in the Hollowlands. Motus's only competition. Not particularly stiff competition, mind you. Especially since Motus wooed all of Aaron's miners with much higher wages. You look like you can take care of yourself, but you should be careful out there.
Oh, it's you. It's amazing that the Fae can flourish in such a warm environment.
so.
Be careful on the sands.
How's it go from that hot to this cold?
Already lost 3 miners to the Barghests. I've received reports of strange happenings in those caverns. One of the workers claimed he saw horrifically scarred men wandering near Saltwell Mouth. If it weren't for the beast lurking at our doorstep every day, I'd find this place quaint. As it is, I can barely retain my sanity. Capstan Odvar runs an inn and serves as our chief of security. Surely you've heard the name. Odessa's most powerful mineral mining interest. Dug the very stones Odessa was built on, and the gems that power her. A forsaken, wretched wasteland with more beasts than grains of sand. Still, by the domes of Odessa, I'll not see this venture fail. He's a weak-eyed, knock-kneed, biscuit-biting excuse for a scholar. But he's the one I've got, so that's that. It's in worse shape than Canyon Hill. Some especially foul old cruddock's been prowling the sands, attacking my miners. Found a taste for gnome, it seems. That's what Capstan tells me, and I, generally speaking, leave these matters to him. I've seen some strange things. Flickers and flashes from the top of that mountain. No idea what causes it, and I don't want none. We've got our hands full down here as it is. They were our biggest competition. Then they discovered this site, actually. When we caught wind of it, we made sure to get up here with a bag of gold for each of his workers. So they promised to work for us instead, of course. Work like a charm. Poor Edgar Error never found a way to recover from that. There's no one else to run his mine. He probably couldn't find the money to pay them even if he found new staff. If I sound proud of us, it's 'cause I am. It was a big victory for Motus. Oh, where are my manners? Foreman Vire at your service. This here is Motus Mining's latest outfit, and my care and charge. Good eve.
I was told of ancient days when wise priestess Beala Tirin to goddess Lyria spoke. The people, remembering all after war, called for Durek's fate. "Slay them, the foul and wretched tribe," said Dokalfar. "Spare them, the poor and miserable beasts," cried Losalfar. Their minds, depraved and hatred-poisoned, twisted. Alfar struck Alfar over drink, at feast, when all else is merry, when peace reigns in havens. Hateful, I am told, were cousins towards each other. From the cold-blessed Ferial, Beala Tirin, with a head to seek Lyria's guidance, set forth on a pilgrimage.
Come in. What do you need today? Goodbye. What do you need today? Come see me again.
Welcome to Caer Elath, mortal. We have not had visitors in a very long time. What do you seek? Yes, I am Winter Fae and Halcyon is Summer Fae. That is the nature of the crossing. A representative from both courts remains here for balance. I always distrusted the Summer Fae, but it is difficult to distrust your only companion. Over the centuries, Halcyon and I have grown to rely on one another. The Keepers live to prevent use of the crossing by either Fey Empire. Its power is such that both Summer and Winter Fey have agreed to leave its power unharnessed. It is a nexus of energies, a place where magic flows infinitely. There are few such places on Amalur, and the Keepers are tasked with protecting them. Always dear Pura has stood vigil at the Circle of the Sun, awaiting the new Keepers to give them direction. It was she who led Halcyon and myself to the crossing when we first arrived in Amalur. Halcyon is my companion, and a revelation. I never in my lives spoke to a Summer Fae, yet now I see that Winter and Summer are not so different. It is no accident that Keralatha is a place of great spiritual confluence. The crossing's flow of energy has influenced the landscape, shaped it as the ancients once did. To deal with the Narca curse. If Pura has given you the means to pass, then do so. You should seek out Halcyon. He will assist you in this. She is the guardian of the Crown of the Sun, and a powerful sorceress. But you have defeated her. It is no wonder Florian and the others of the House of Valor have come to place their trust in you. It is where the replacement keepers go to prepare for their work at the crossing. When it is time for them to assume their posts, they enter into combat with Pura, as you did. If they survive, she brings them here, as she did with us. We Keepers routinely delve into the depths of Keralatha to make minute adjustments to the crossing, ensuring its power remains under control. Find the crossing, and Halcyon will undoubtedly be nearby. Take caution in these lands, mortal. Your kind is particularly susceptible to its dangers.